Here we got K2SO from Hasbro, Star Wars, the Black Series. And like I said, this is from the Andor wave, and this is number 11 in that line. We got that new style rectangle box, open window box. But not only is this a cool looking figure with a great show, I ended up getting this one at Ross for a decent price of $5.99. Now, if you guys saw my last video, I did end up getting Cassian Andor at Ross for $5.99 as well. And what I didn't realize is that that K2SO is the next line in that wave of getting Cassian Andor. As I have the box right here, he is number 10, and then K2SO is number 11. So their boxes are gonna line up pretty good right there, which that's why I kind of like the newer style boxes, because they look a lot cleaner in my opinion than the old school slanted boxes. So we're gonna go ahead and look at this K2SO. Now what does suck is that this is like, it's a nice figure, nice robot, I guess, but what sucks is that this is the same price point as any other Black Series figure, but it doesn't come with any accessories. Now, I'm pretty sure this could be considered a deluxe wave back in the day if it did have accessories, but it being just, you know, a standard figure, I believe this released for either $22, $23. I can't remember. I did see this at Walmart a few times when the show first came out. With the new price point being a little higher than I would like to admit, or I would like to, like, you know, pay for, getting K2SO for $5.99 at Ross is not bad. Now, if they did have two of these, I probably would buy more, because this is actually not a bad figure to army build, because he is just an Imperial droid, and I don't think this is really much different from a regular Imperial droid. I don't know if he has the Imperial like logo on his shoulder. I can't really tell from the box. But overall, K2SO, number 11, Andor, nice box. Love the box. On the back, you guys have a little bit of a description right there. So let's go ahead and open this up. He doesn't have any accessories, so, you know, going to be straight into the figure. So here we do have a tray shot of K2SO. So let's go ahead and remove him from that tray. With Rogue One and Andor being one of my favorite shows and or movies from Star Wars, getting K2SO is actually a nice addition to my collection. I don't really have too many of the Rogue One wave. I think I have maybe like 2 figures in that wave, and I do have some retro 3/4 inch figures in that line as well. Like I got Jyn Erso in that scale, but I don't have her in the regular Black Series line, which I do plan on getting her. She has been hitting some Rosses, so maybe I end up getting her. Not entirely sure, but looking at this K2SO, he is really cool. I definitely want to try to get another one. You guys can see that he does have the Imperial logo on his left shoulder. It is kind of like worn down just a tad bit, which is actually pretty cool, I think. I think having this detail actually is pretty nice. You guys can see that paint is really glossy right here where the logo is portrayed. You got a little bit of damage. Now that's just paint. It's not really molded into the figure. Just seeing all the paint additions that they added is actually pretty nice. A lot of wear and tear, in my opinion. The detail of him is pretty nice. You guys can see the eyes. The eyes look so lifeless, all white, very clueless, but I do love that look of K2SO. He's definitely a really nice, unique design of a droid. We're all used to C-3POs and just other droids, I guess, in the Star Wars universe, but K2SO, this Imperial droid, is actually pretty well designed, very slink looking. I really do like that. So on the front, you guys do have some details, got some buttons or whatever. On the back, he does have a little bit of an antenna. Now, I don't remember if they did K2 in the Rogue One wave. I really don't remember. They are coming out with a Lego build version of him, so this is actually going to satisfy my needs for that. Instead of spending $100, I think having him for $5.99 is a great addition. So we're going to go ahead and zoom just a little bit close on the head sculpt, just because I like the way this looks. You guys can see that detail right there. You guys can see the little grays, the molded right there. A little bit more damage right here on the head. If it focuses just a little bit, he does have the Imperial logo on both shoulders. You guys can see the detail on the button. On the back, you guys have You guys can see some more detail as well, buttons and little mechanisms or whatever. So let's go ahead and look at the articulation of this figure. So I'm not really sure what to compare this one to, but it has single joints right there, which, you know, it's fine. It's a droid. You know, we're not really too worried too much about that. His wrist does swivel completely. It goes somewhat up and somewhat down. Now he doesn't come with any weapons, so he has a relaxed palm right there. Now let's see if his arm does a 360, and it does, and it kind of goes pretty high. I think that's pretty good for this kind of figure. Let's see how it looks like that. I think I'm pretty satisfied with this articulation from the arm aspect. Both of these move pretty decently right there. You guys can see he could just be chilling just like that. Now let's look at the knee joints. Single jointed knees. Now if it was double jointed, that would be kind of cool, but single jointed knees on this isn't too bad. It does swivel at the knee. Oh, on both ends at the knee, it does swivel, which is pretty cool. You guys can see that the ankle goes all the way up. Pretty excessive because he is a droid, and his ankle does have this weird motion that it goes left. No toe articulation. Does have a peg at the bottom, of course, which does say Hasbro, and then it has little China logo right there. It has a little bit of numbers right here. Overall, this is actually really cool. You're going to be able to have him sit crisscross or just sit down regularly, or maybe just, you know, have him in the background. Now, if he came with a weapon, it would have been pretty cool, but I understand why this didn't, you know, because he is a droid. I don't think these droids have the use of using weapons, but I'm sure they have the capability of doing so. So now that we have K2SO right here, we're going to go ahead and get Cassian Andor just to see the scale and how they look. Having both of these side by side, it's pretty ideal in my opinion. Like I said, I don't have a lot of the Rogue One line, and I think having both of them stand together right here just satisfies that need for me. Now I do have, I believe, a Shore Trooper, or the one that they had in Rogue One, so that would be a decent pair, I guess. But having both of these entirely with Krennic would be nice. I don't have Krennic. I think they made Krennic, but I can't remember off the top of my head. Now, if they did have Krennic, that'll be pretty cool. But to complete this, I definitely need K2SO, which I don't have her in the Black Series 6-inch scale. But this will satisfy my need for both Andor and Rogue One, and the scale looks pretty good. I mean, K2SO is pretty tall, and I think it looks pretty good having both of them side by side. But you guys let me know down in the comment section below, what do you guys think of the K2SO Black Series figures? Did you guys pay normal price, or do you regret it? Do you guys rather pay Ross prices? Because I think Ross prices are the way to go when it comes to trying to collect on a budget, especially with everything now becoming a little bit more expensive. You know, you got to go on the hunt trying to find these for cheap. Now, like I said, I only found this one. If I ended up finding more, I'll definitely try to get this one. Oh, and it does rotate right here. I don't know if I mentioned that right there. Pretty decent in my opinion, but you guys let me know down in the comment section below, what do you guys think of this K2SO. Look out for my other reviews of my other Black Series figures that I have coming up here real soon, and I'll see you guys in the next video.